Hello, goodbye, Auf Wiedersehen, whatever it was called, I can't remember now. I watched it about 10 times. How do you solve a problem like Maria? The hills are alive with the sound of music. Ah. Shut up, Mr. Bajerski. Welcome everybody to Mark Bajerski YouTube channel. Welcome to the Pure Energy Healing Academy. Yay! Don't you wish you were in here? Yes, you do. I know you do. I wish you were in here. There is no space and time, so you really are in here. You're right next to me. You're feeling my energy. Hopefully, anyway. Cheers. Welcome. I feel like Superman. You want to see Superman? There you go. There's Superman. Some beautiful soul sent this. So just so you know, I'm trying to find a piece of Moldavite to put around his neck. No, it's not kryptonite. It's Moldavite. And it doesn't cause harm. It's all inverted, guys. It's all inverted. Welcome, everybody. I did promise a couple of people, maybe more, on my new TikTok channel for Moldavite. It's all about Moldavite. No conspiracies, nothing like that. So I promised to show you the Flame of Bohemia. I had an offer for it last week. I nearly took it. But then I just decided not to. So I said, let me think about it. I've changed my mind. No. So it's still the keeper. I'm still the keeper of it. I actually worked with it a couple of weeks ago and really enjoyed it too. So I brought a light just because I haven't got my flashlight, so don't know if this is going to work, but say hello to the Flame of Bohemia. There it is, guys. Hey, there you go. There you go. So what you're looking at here is apparently 15 million years old. As it flew through the air, it landed in the ground and created this beautiful shape called hedgehog. There you go. Absolutely beautiful. When I first saw this in a show, you know the feeling that you get. I don't know what that feeling is with you. It might be a pair of shoes, Jimmy Choos. It might be a mobile home. It could be a house. It could be a place. It could be anything. But that feeling that you get, and it doesn't go away. And I was at the show for the whole day, and I rang up my bank manager at the time, and I said, "Look, I've seen something that I think is going to be very valuable." In the next 10 years, it's going to be an investment, and also it's going to be really beautiful for my website too. It's going to look good on the website, even though I don't put it up there anymore. So I need to put this. I've got a rug here because I don't ever hold it up unless there's a rug underneath. Smart move, Mr. Bajerski, because if you drop that and you break one little tiny piece of it, it's lost its value. That said, I want to show you a little collection that I'm finishing working on right now. And these are from the same place, Besanice. There you go. Oh. Okay, so there you go, Besanice. So you can see the smaller version of it. And all these beautiful little pieces. There you go. So I've been working on these now, how long? Maybe 4 months. And every now and again, when I finish working on 3 or 4, I'll then upload them onto markbajerski.com. So yeah, that's just another collection I'm working on. So they're classed as like grade A, grade AA. What you've seen of the Flame of Bohemia, that is classed as, I don't know if you can hear me. Did you hear me there? I didn't even put the microphone close. So yeah, that one, the Flame of Bohemia, is very rare, extremely rare, one-off. And that particular example is of a grade which we call museum grade, which basically means you can look through your eye at the crystal and see that it's all perfect. So 50 million years old as it landed, and then through time, the water going in between and carving its way through it and creating such a very unusual shape. Now, of course, Moldavite isn't just about the shape. I mean, I've been working on these now. These are, hundreds and hundreds of Moldavites in their little tiny pieces. I've been working on them. They've had about nearly 50 hours work. And what I'm going to do with them, I've no idea just yet, but it's like gold dust finding little pieces these days. So yeah, I could also show you another collection. Should I do that? Should I show you another collection I'm working on as well at the same time? Just give me a second. So these are basically on stage 3 of Mark Bajerski's way of getting them ready. So I don't take them out of the packet. I just work on them like this. So I can show you. There is obviously 1 or 2 taken out there, but that's because I like to feel them and see what they feel like to begin with. So I'll just hold, like that one's a gold plated and this is a silver, and I'll just hold them before I start work. Then as soon as I pick up the feeling of what I need to put into them as pure energy healing as an added bonus, put them down and then basically place my hands over them. Normally they're round about here, so you can't see, but they're right on my knees, and I just simply place my hands over them and put the music on, depending on what music I feel is best for the vibration. Or I'll have a singing bowl next to me here, and I'll use the singing bowl just to get the frequency right, and then just sit in meditation and then try and become the healer that I am to the client in front of me. So I see this as a client, and then I work on that frequency of, it's called download, or you receiving energy. Through that energy comes through your body and out of your hands, and then you're pouring that energy into the crystal. This is what I've done for 2 decades, and it's worked. It's really worked. People actually say that they feel that their Moldavite that they bought from markbajerski.com feels different. And I'm like, yes, I mean, to do this kind of work and to get no reaction just wouldn't make any sense on a business perspective at all. Doesn't make any sense. I could be doing other things, but I do it because from the moment I started laying crystals on clients and placing my hand over the client where the crystal is, and it might be 5 minutes, it might be 10 minutes, it might be 20 minutes. And then when I've finished working with that crystal, I'll put it back on the table, which is this table here. I'll put it back on that table and then go back to it on another client. It might be 2 days later, it might be an hour later, and I'll pick that crystal up again and place it on the client and put my hand over the client. And in time, it might be 10 hours, it might be 20 hours, it might be 30 hours, it might get to 50 hours of that I've worked on that crystal. And then that crystal will be ready for a client. I don't know which client, I don't know when the client will show up, but the client will show up and it'll be on a tree, a metal tree where they're all hanging. And at the top of the tree is, it goes like that. At the top, there's maybe 10. And then 10 are ready for my client. And what normally happens is the client will say, or they used to say, oh, Mark, that was lovely. You don't happen to have a crystal that I could buy, do you? I used to gift them at the beginning, but then it got to people wanted to buy them because, they felt like, you gave me one last time. I don't want you to give me one. I want to buy one. I'm like, okay, these are ready on top. Well, which do you think? Oh, well, I used that one on you. I actually took that off and put that on you and then put it back onto the stand. That was the one that I worked with. That's the one that I want then. So that's how it was so organic and it was so beautiful that I realized I was being looked after by the spirit world, because I had a house, I had a big mortgage, I had to take care of my family and the shop as well. So it was like I was being given back what I was giving, because I wasn't charging for 2 years. I didn't charge for my healing sessions. So, I thought that was really lovely. It was such an organic, beautiful place. And this is what I try and share with people. And I haven't stopped, even though I got to the point where I knew I couldn't continue because it was just too much. And I retired. I still continued with crystals, because crystals, like from that point on, was my life. It was so fascinating. Every crystal that I work with every day, no matter what it is, like today, I've been working with this, which is basically labradorite. It's just carved as a beautiful angel, but I've been working with that today. And where is that? Malachite. I've been working with this today as well. Very rare piece of malachite. Absolutely gorgeous. And you see it's like a stalagmite type. This is where they cut them down and then they sell them. So they chop them, like this could be chopped up into absolutely tons, but like maybe 30 slim pieces. So this was a big investment. This is a very unusual malachite. Absolutely beautiful. So I've been working with that. That's been adorable. Really enjoyed working with that. So yeah, going back to the Moldavite. So I cherry pick each Moldavite when I go to the Czech Republic, and I cherry pick them just as I feel. So what I do is I might have a group of 200 pieces. And what I do is I just put them down and just close my eyes normally, and I just sort of randomly pick a piece up. So I'll pick a piece up and just close my eyes and feel it. If I get a stimulus, a reaction, any subtle reaction, it will go into that pile. If I get no reaction instantly, I'll put it to another pile, which is no pile. These are right for me. Now, that same pile, really interesting here. This is a great deep dive on Moldavite. That pile there will be given to me in, say, 6 months when I go back for 3 days. And I'll say, I want that pile there if you've still got it. Have you? Yeah, still got them. Okay. And then I'll touch them. And then out of that pile that I didn't feel anything from, I might get 3 pieces from and feel something from it. So I kind of feel like Moldavite, I'm guided to certain pieces. And you might say, well, aren't all Moldavites the same? And I'll go, yeah, they are. And they all hold the same energy. But I'm feeling from my frequency and energy what feels right. So like as I touched this, my ears tingled just then. Just a simple, this one, my heart just went, it's like somebody just touched me there. Sometimes I'll just get like a cold feeling or warmth or a tingling or pins and needles as I'm holding it and working with it. I might get a little tiny, like funny feeling on my arm. So I'm looking for a reaction as soon as I touch it. So all of these I had a reaction to. Once I've gone through maybe 200, and I might put 10, 20 or 30, depending on what reaction I get from them. Once I've got them, now they're ready. So now they're ready. They come back with me and I start working with them on the same way as I work with all my other crystals, I'll place my hands over them and start to feel, see what feelings I get, what I need to feel like, what am I working on, what's coming through the energy of these crystals. And that's where I'll allow that energy to flow through, and I'll also work with that energy. I'll expand on it, and I'll feel more and allow more in. I close my mind, clear my mind, move myself out of the way, and allow this frequency to come in. Once that's done and I feel, okay, these crystals are now, like, these are not ready yet. They're on stage 3. So stage 3 is normally, I've got another couple of stages to go, and then they may be ready. So stage 1 is the picking of the crystals. Stage 2 is putting the crystals here and starting slight working with them, trying to figure out what I'm wanting to get from this. And then once that's happened and I start, stage 3 is working on them and working on them. Once I've worked on them to a certain degree, I think, okay, now they're ready. So I put them all together, put them in a box and send them to Bali. Bali then mount them into beautiful mountains, whether they're silver, sterling silver, or rolled gold, 18 karat rolled gold. Then they come back again. So stage 3 is like they've come back again. The 2 more stages is, now that they've all done, I'll start holding them again like this and start to see what's coming through. What am I feeling now? What's going on? Am I feeling a different energy? Do I need to do anything else with it? Yes, I do. I can tell you I need to do something with these. I feel there's more needs to be put into them. So that could be another 2, 3, 4 hours. Once that's done and I feel they're right, they go back in and then they stay there for a while till I've refreshed and cleared and not thought about them anymore. And then I go back with a new perspective, a new energy, put them down here to stage 5. And that is to finally finish off, what do I need? It might be 15 minutes. It might be an hour. It might be 2 or 3 hours. And then what I'll do is I'll transport all these into my singing bowl, which is the Moldavite singing bowl. And I'll singing bowl it. I'll put the frequency of Moldavite, because it's a Moldavite singing bowl. I'll put the same frequency into it. Once that's done and I feel that's ready, then I take a photo of each piece and then put them on markbajerski.com. That's basically how it works. So Moldavite, I'm going to keep a piece out here like this. Moldavite is kind of like part of my life. It's probably the number one crystal on my website, in the sense of how much dedication and how much focus I've put on a certain crystal. It always has been, because of the work that it created in my healing room. In this room, people will tell you, if you've ever been here before and you've spent 4 days with me here, and if you have, thank you for being here. Thank you for coming. We had a really good time, but that good time, it's not like, oh, I went on holiday and it was a lovely holiday. It's life-changing for most people. So the Pure Energy Healing Academy has changed lives. That's not me. It's the energy in here. The academy is just a room. Well, it's 3 rooms, but 3 rooms of energy, which is so focused. It's so magical that when you are working with your clients in this room or the next room, something happens. It's a kind of an awakening. And what I used to do is, when people came here, I'd sit them all down in this room. They'd all be comfortable sat down, and I'd say, look, mi casa es tu casa, right? Like, don't start saying, can I touch anything? This is your room. Treat it like it's your home, and treat every single thing in any way you see as if it's yours. So what that means is, if you're ever drawn to anything in this room, follow that guidance. Don't have fear in your heart. Don't worry about me. You can touch any. I'm not that sort of person that, don't touch my crystal, don't touch my tarot cards. Like, that's not who I am. I've never been that way. I've always been, you can do whatever you want in here. Follow your truth. What I do is guide people and say, look up. And if you look up, I don't know if you can look up, but we've got butterflies on the ceilings. And I tell people to look up. And I say, the only thing I ask you to do is be a butterfly. What do you mean, Mark? What do you mean? Well, imagine you're having a lovely massage and all of a sudden you start to fall into a deep sleep. And the masseur says, so where'd you come from then? And you go, like, you just don't want that. You want to just be left in peace. You want to feel that energy. You want to feel that silence. You want to feel basically healing. You want to feel that healing energy. So be a butterfly when you're working with your clients. If you're going to cough, go out of the room, shut the door and cough, and then come back in. If you're going to sit down like you're a butterfly landing on a flower. And when you get up, do the same. Make sure you're clean and you smell nice. Make sure, like if you have to smoke, then go and chew some chewing gum. Don't breathe on your client because it's going to stink to them. And I was very lucky. I have very, very few people who ever did that. Disrespectful, really, because if you stink, it's going to stink your client. Be mindful of cleanliness is close to godliness. It is. So be kind, be caring. So this room was your room for 4 days. You would use the oils, you'd use the incense, you'd use whether it's the feathers, whatever you would use, just the sound of a bell and things like. But you'd use it in a way that wouldn't cause issue. There is no ego in this room, so don't try and prove yourself to me. That's why I normally go out of the room. Not interested in what you think I think of you. I don't care about that. That's why I normally leave the room. I leave the room on purpose so that you get on and do the job, and I'll pop back in every now and again to see how you're doing with your client. And plus the fact I don't want you nervous thinking, am I doing it right? Is he watching me? 'Cause no, there's no such thing as doing it wrong. The only thing that can happen is you don't do anything or you do something. So don't even waste your energy with me, because I'm not here to prove anything to you, and you're not here to prove anything to me. You're here to heal the client, that lady or that man or that child who's laying down in front of you. You're going to work with them. And out of all the crystals in this room, and trust me, when I was working, that table was full of crystals. There must have been 200 on there. And I'd always say, if you really feel, not just because, I think I'm going to do it, if you feel a pull that you want to take a crystal at the end of the crystal session, you want to say, I think this crystal's good for you. I want to gift you this crystal. Doesn't matter what it was. It might be a Moldavite. It might be a Tektite. It might be a Herkimer diamond. It doesn't matter. But if you feel that pull, that you know that this client needs that crystal, then you gift that crystal as it's your crystal. Okay. So it used to be like that in this room, and it used to be love and everybody is of equal energy. There is no better or worse. The only thing that we had to get through is that brain program mindset. Am I good enough? Am I doing it right? Should I be doing this? Is the client feeling anything? And like this nonsense that your brain basically hijacks you every day. It says it every day. Not what I'm saying, but every day your brain is saying, am I good enough? Should I be doing something else? What should I be doing? What about that person? Oh, look, they're doing it better than me. Oh, that person's living a happier life than me. Oh, that person's got a bigger car than me. Oh, I have a terrible life. And like, your brain hijacks you every day. That's why I say, tell your brain to shut up, because your brain doesn't serve you well because it's been programmed that way. So you have to unlearn. 4 days in here, 4 days on the Pure Energy Healing course online, you'll find that you'll unlearn. And it's true, you will unlearn. You'll unlearn all the lies, all the manipulation, all the evil that's been put into your brain. And it has drip feed for all your life. So in this room or online, when you're watching the videos, something changes. Something will change, and it might be slight or it might be really powerful, but something changes and you start to get a different perspective. You start to get a different energy. You'll start to feel different, and thus you'll start to clear and unlearn all that you've learned, to learn something new, to allow something new in. They talk about, these shamans, these gurus, these wise men who say, see the cup of water, it's full. How are you to put anything in that cup if it's full? If your brain is full of the program of all your life, how are you going to put anything else in there? You need to empty it. And I think that 4 days in pure energy healing empties your brain. It basically just clears all that nonsense away. And thus, Moldavite has been that tool for me for 2 decades. It's proven to clear, to delete, to reprogram. That's the negative, really. Reprogram isn't reprogramming. It's just clearing a way for you to receive new information. Something about Moldavite has a frequency that kills, destroys, it melts, it burns away that what is not needed for the health of your physical, mental, and emotional. That's why it's so difficult for some people to wear, because they're normally filled with fear. They're normally filled with worry. They're normally filled with the program. And the Moldavite works on clearing that away. And you'll find that on TikTok. If you're here from TikTok now, watch the TikTok videos. You'll normally find it's young girls or boys or elderly women who literally, if you look at all their videos prior to that and just do some research, they weren't balanced. Sorry, but they weren't. And this is just tipping them to the edge of their craziness, which has filled their lives with whatever the program has given them. That's why they go insane almost, like they call it evil and like, hang on. I spent 2 days down on the coast at the prime of my energy as a psychic healer, and I was giving psychic readings to roughly about 18 to 20 people a day. They were short readings, half an hour readings-ish, something like that. And I'd do quite a lot, right? And then at the end of those 2 days at the Mind, Body and Spirit Festival, my mentor said to me, it was my birthday. It was October the 20th, my birthday, and the show was around about October the 20th, right? So it was really lovely. And I was buzzed up. I mean, I literally couldn't do anything wrong. The readings were really accurate. And I'm like, wow, the flow is brilliant. No, it's not me. I'm not born with this talent and gift. It's like I had to work hard at this. And I'm saying today was a good day. That's all I want to know. You're only as good as your last reading, Mark. So I fairly balanced that way. And anyway, the last day came and my mentor was pleased with me. She wasn't upset in any way with me. She said, actually, you were very good. Well done. And I want to give you a present. And I'm like, really? Oh, thank you very much. So we walked over. Noelle had a stand there. She sell crystals for ages. I remember meeting her ages ago before I even did crystals or healing. And I Noelle, how are you? She said, fine. And my mentor put a Moldavite probably about that size, that big, into my hand. And I closed my hand and and all of a sudden I felt this. And I quickly opened my eyes. I said, did you just see that? Did you see that? And my mentor was laughing, right? And I said, I just lifted up. And like, yeah, this is an experience that many people have, she told me, because she worked with Moldavite for many years. That's why she couldn't wait to put it in my hand. I didn't know what this stone was, but from that moment, I was captivated. And I put the Moldavite around my neck, and it was just incredible. It was incredible. Why is that? Why is it so that so many people suffer so badly and get upset and angry and fight and call it the devil and it's the demon energy? And yet I'm like, whoa, this is amazing. Why? Because I just finished 2 days of attunement, of healing sessions, of psychic awareness and reading. I was in a good energy space. I was cleared of fear and worry. I was filled with joy. I was filled with peace. I was filled with this magic, which is beautiful. All what happened was this elevated me to another level. And thus I never stopped working with it. And it saddens me when I see these young kids who pick it up and say it's terrible and it's evil and it's heavy and it's no. It's a mirror image of what you are, and what it's doing is it's trying to help you clear that away. And I try and explain this in a very simple term. If you fall and hurt yourself and you're grazed, your mum's going to get you alcohol and you know it's going to burn, but that burn is good. That burn is actually going to kill everything that's inside your grazed knee, and so you don't get an infection. Moldavite is the same thing, but to your trauma, your trapped energy, your blocks, and any kind of issues of your past and even past life. It will bring them out, just like when you put that on there. Oh, it's burning, and we're getting rid of all that crap. And then after that, you're fine. Most people don't leave it on long enough to realize that the burn was basically the cleansing and clearing. And then they take it off, and that's okay. Take it off. If it's too much, take it off. I get it. Put it back on again and then take it off. Me, I just leave it on all the time till it's over. But I would have a single thought, and that thought is that this is the burning of what needs to be burnt away and cleaned from my life. There are enough people out there in the world to tell you that. I can tell you this now, on a level of people wearing crystals in my community, I would say that there are more people wearing Moldavite coupled with Herkimer diamond and Tektite, black Tektite, than any other crystal in the world. So these are the signs, these are the facts, the truth, that Moldavite isn't dark. The only darkness that comes with Moldavite is the lack of understanding and the hijack that Moldavite is this dangerous thing. If you look in biblical text, you can see it's connected to, the devil, Satan. It's connected to a lot of negative things. But actually, when you really truly understand Moldavite, you find that, I believe wholeheartedly, that it was deliberately hijacked because it was the source of your enlightenment and awakening, so you see through the bullshit. And that's too dangerous for darkness. It's too dangerous for the elite. It's too dangerous for them. They don't want you to have it. And I've shared stories before that like literal stories whereby when I was in Besanice, the story was by a local that many years ago in the First World War or the Second World War, I wasn't sure because they were trying to explain to me, but this is the truth. You can study it, go there and ask. If somebody's old, they'll tell you because they told me. And the story goes that many years ago, Besanice was had a deal. They did a deal. Their locals, the council, whatever they were, the people who were running the village, the Russians came and offered them money to basically upgrade their town. And they would come and they would bring tanks, and they would bring JCBs, and they would dig for these Moldavites because they heard about these Moldavites. And he didn't tell me how many, but he said he remembers as a child that there were truck after truck after truck after truck going, digging and taking away all of this soil with hedgehogs, Moldavites. Now, why would the Russian government do that? There's only one reason why, because they know there is something very special about Moldavite. Now, I believe that after working with this crystal for 2 decades, I've touched upon maybe a fraction of what the power of Moldavite is. On a scientific level, I think this is very, very important for certain reasons on a scientific level and because of its property. So even that should tell you there's something very interesting about Moldavite. Very interesting. In the biblical text, it talks about this crystal as falling from the sky, basically. It fell from the sky, and they talk about it in biblical terms, basically saying that this is a green emerald that was once the crown of Satan. So whenever you hear things like this, you've got to ask yourself, why are they using fear and saying these fear things? It's really fascinating. Why would you do that? You do it because you don't want people to understand it. You do it because you don't want people to get to know it. You don't want people to awaken. You want people to be dumb. You want people to not have a clue what they're doing on this stage show that they do 24 hours a day with Charlie Kirk, with 9/11, with all the things that they're throwing at you, you know, the jabs, poison, there's another this, there's this happening, and this, the World War II, and this, and that, and the atomic bomb, and a meteorite coming down to kill us all. This is a stage show making us fear. But when you wear Moldavite, it helps you break free from the bullshit. You smell it. You become stronger and wiser. You start to see things beyond the beyond. Moldavite has that energy to do it. And people feel lost without it. And I get that. I did at one time. Don't anymore, but I go, it's probably because I work with it most weeks. So it probably doesn't have that effect on, like me, like, oh, I need it again, because I'm around it all the time. It's all over the place. So maybe that's what it is. But I think when I first started, like I wore my Moldavite every day. I might have had 2 or 3 pieces on. Every day I wore it. It was incredible. So how it healed my clients, how I worked with clients with Moldavite, how my clients would come back to me and say, I've worn this Moldavite, Mark. I can't explain it, but this is really, my life is changing. It's weird, but since I put it on, things have started to happen. It's like something happened along my journey that now it's changed. I'm like, yeah, it kind of has that effect. It really does have that effect. There is changes, and them changes are because whatever you've been stuck in, that frequency and energy, whether it's fear, doubt, misery, grief, Moldavite shakes that off. It's almost like it has a frequency and energy that, like a wave, that targets that issue within your body and clears it away. And yes, you can feel it. Like, you talk about this feeling of the Moldavite flush. That Moldavite flush is just like you eating sugar. And then all of a sudden you're getting spots all over your face and you have to squeeze them because it's that toxic pus that is what you've eaten. So Moldavite will clear that out. And that's why you'll feel this heat and this sweat, and you'll feel like you feel a bit sick sometimes, and you feel nauseous. And that's because it's clearing it out on a spiritual level, but your body feels like it's a physical level. It's quite fascinating. So, and some people, and I've had this a lot, well, I never felt anything. And a lot of the times, I'd say at least 50% of the time, you've bought a fake Moldavite. And if you want to just study fake Moldavite, just type in fake Moldavite from China and just look. They have basically barrels full of Moldavite, barrels and barrels full of fake Moldavite all over China. It's not real. So a lot of people are buying Moldavite because it says that they're a company on Etsy, eBay and all that, and they're buying fake Moldavite. You can't, but if you said to me, oh, I bought this for $29, you haven't bought Moldavite. You haven't bought it. Or if you have, it's somebody who didn't know what they had, but it ain't a company, because I can't buy that for $29. I couldn't even touch $29. That wouldn't even buy a tiny bit of it. So, oh yeah, you can buy it. Oh, it's all over the place. No, it's not, mate. You go to Czech Republic, you go into any of the shops in the Czech Republic that sell Moldavite, and you find something for €29. They just laugh at you. They just laugh. Doesn't happen. Oh, but it is because I'm online with a group of Moldavite people. Yeah, go on then. Go for you. Well, I tell you what, you're doing something better than I am, because I've been going to the Czech Republic now for at least 16 years. And I know how hard it is to get Moldavite. And if you think you're going to get it for $29, good luck to you. You're just probably buying a fake piece of Moldavite. Oh, I bought a big piece for $59. Good for you. I'll buy 100. Get me 100 if they're genuine. I'll buy them tomorrow. I'll buy 1,000 pieces. If you know what weight did you just say? 11 grams. 11 grams. $59. I'll have 1,000 pieces off you now. So you try to explain to people, it's difficult, and I get very upset when people send me messages saying, is this genuine? I don't know if it's genuine. No point asking me. I just know that I have to be extremely careful. I was stumped by one guy from the Czech Republic who kind of thought it was a smart idea to start buying from China and pretending that it was from the Czech Republic. And when I bought this piece, I'm like, it was an expensive piece. And I'm like, that's not real. This isn't real. And I sent the guy a message, and I've been dealing with him, and I've been buying pieces off him, and they were genuine. And then I realized this guy's turned into a crook. So you can't guarantee anything, even in the Czech Republic. You need to have people that you know for at least 20, 30 years that are genuine dealers that love Moldavite, that work with it, and would be completely insulted if you even dared say that. It's an insult, right? They work with Moldavite, but you have to be careful. So yeah, that said, up till today, I think I was just looking at the records of how many pieces I've basically handled. I must have handled over 500,000 pieces easily. I mean, every time I do the shows, I'm handling hundreds and hundreds and hundreds all day long. I go to the Czech Republic and handle hundreds of pieces from my 4 main diggers. And I sometimes I'll look at something and think, whoa, that's so beautiful. And I'll get nothing off it. I'll like, that's not for me. And they'll say, I thought you would want that one. I'm like, yes, so did I, but I'll hold it again. What I've come to terms with is that each crystal is for a client. It might be Moldavite, it might be Tektite, it might be any of the other crystals in my crystal collection. But I know that when I get that feeling, it's because that crystal will go to a certain person. That might be in 10 weeks, it might be in 5 months, it might be in 20 years. But the spirit world doesn't have space and time. It just prepares things as they're meant to be prepared. So I just feel like I'm the in-between, and I'm preparing something, and I'm working as a healer, and I treat a Moldavite as a client, and I'll give energy into it, which is an added energy, which I feel like I'm a bridge between the spirit world. And then somebody will just say, I don't know why, but I want that crystal. I need that crystal. And I'm like, okay, good. You know what you want. You feel the pull. That's the crystal for you. The crystal always chooses you, even though you feel like you're choosing it. It's like when I touch it and feel something, okay, I'm definitely having that one. And why? I don't know why I'm having it, but I do know that I get message after message every day that somebody said, you know, I got a crystal from your website, or you gifted me a crystal, Mark. I'm telling you, that soon as I touched it, or I broke down in tears, soon as I put it on, things changed. And it's like, you know, would it have happened if I didn't work with it? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. But all I know is what I work with, and this is what I'm told. So I just stick to what I know and what I've always done. I haven't changed my routine in 20 years. I don't do anything different other than There's not a client there that I'm laying this crystal on. It's just me sat with these crystals and laying my hands over them. And that's why I call them pure energy healing crystals. It's just added energy. And all I do is I hope that it makes a difference. That's all I hope. And that hope isn't like, oh, did it? It's just like, I've done my job and that's it. And that's how I used to treat clients. So my crystals attract just like clients. So yeah, there you go. Any questions? Please let me know now before I go. It's a lovely day. It's Saturday afternoon. I've really enjoyed my work today. It's been fabulous. And I'm really happy that I actually am happy that I've done TikTok, because the reason why is because all I'm talking about is crystals, incense and oils. I'm not talking about what the world's going, where it's going. I'm not talking conspiracy fact. I'm just fully focused on Moldavite and crystals. So if you are over here from TikTok, thanks for joining me. It's nice because I've been so banned on every other platform. It's unreal. So it's nice that I'm able to now hopefully grow TikTok, even though I've never liked it in the sense of what I see. I don't look at it. I just post on it and then just go away. And hopefully the right people will see it, and at least there's some good on there rather than disgusting stuff. But there you go. Yeah. What does that say? I'm going to say hello and hope you have a great day. Love from Marie. And while I'm going to go and have love and hugs. That's really lovely. And it's frustrating for me. To be honest, it is frustrating for me, because sometimes I'll hear people say that, you know, I didn't feel anything. And then all of a sudden, it might be a week, it might be a month, whatever. And then they'll send me a message saying, now I feel it. And all I've always said to people with Moldavite is just wear it and work with it, because, you know, a lot of people, it's like somebody asked me what would, I don't know if you've ever heard of the crystal skulls. Have you ever heard of them? Apparently these skulls that were used in, I don't know, I haven't studied them, but it could be Lemuria or whatever, Atlantis, but they were used as like conduits or radios or communication. So basically the healer, the crystal healer, would place their hands over it and either give messages or enter a message into there as a memory, just like I do with these crystals. And then somebody else would get it and feel the energy and know what that message was. This is what I heard. I'm not sure, but somebody once said to me, aren't you interested in the crystal skulls? First of all, I'm not really a big fan of skulls. I don't feel that, but whatever. What would you do if you were in the presence of a genuine crystal skull? And I said, I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't feel anything. I wouldn't expect anything. I just would just sit there, and I'd probably just put my hand over it and just be at peace. Just be at peace. That's it. That's all I'd be. I wouldn't expect anything. I wouldn't want anything. I'd just be at peace. I'd just put my hand on it. That's all. I wouldn't go there to tell you what I felt. Not interested in that. Just put my hand on it. Wouldn't expect anything. And that's exactly the same thing I would say to you with your Moldavite. You are better with a clear canvas, without no expectations, not knowing what you're going to paint, what you're going to do. And if you don't feel like painting today because you don't feel anything, then leave it. Because the right moment, at the right time, you will think, I know what I need to paint now, and you'll just start painting. It's the same with Moldavite. No expectations, just put it on and see what happens. And if nothing happens, fine. What I say to you when that happens is that the Moldavite's working straight away. You might not know it's working, you might not feel it's working, but trust me, it's working. If you have purchased A genuine Moldavite, it will start working from the moment you purchase it. What do you mean by that? I'm telling you that the spirit world knows, and there is a frequency and energy that comes off the spirit world, off you, and off the Moldavite, and it begins its work the moment you make the decision to own or to just look after that Moldavite. I don't own any Moldavite. I just take care of them from the time I'm here, and then they've gone. I never ever, so like this Moldavite here that I just showed you, this Moldavite here, I don't feel as if I own it. I'm just the keeper of it for now until it needs to go somewhere else. And that's the same with every single Moldavite that I work with. I never have that feeling as if, I've never had that feeling per se. I've never really, at the very beginning of my healing journey as a crystal healer, I've never had that feeling of it's mine, it's my precious. Never had that feeling. I've always been open, and I'm not saying you can ask anybody because I don't know where they all are, but I can tell you this from my hand on my heart as my truth is strike me down, kill anybody, a member of my family that I love if I'm lying. I have never once not given freely when spirit has asked me to. I might have had a little bit of what about that one there? What about that one there? No, that one at the end. I have never turned my back. I have never walked away from the feeling of you need to gift this crystal to that client. No matter how much I paid for it, it doesn't matter. It was irrelevant. It is a stone. It doesn't have value. It's just your value or somebody else's value, but it means nothing to the spirit world. It is a frequency and energy that client needs, and it will help them in whatever way the spirit world believes it will. And I was always guided to picking it up. And I have literally had, and I don't mean this negatively, because if you're a healer, you will only understand. But when you're married to somebody who isn't a healer, and you've come home and you've said, and they've said, how's that Moldavite that you've been saving up for 4 months? And I've said, I've given it away. It's hard for a partner to understand that. It's hard. That's why a healer is normally quite lonely. A true healer is normally lonely because people don't understand. Most people cannot grasp what energy is unless you're working in it and with the spirit world. So it's a fascinating subject, and maybe that's why I'm no longer married, because nobody can truly understand a healer. Nobody can truly really understand what a healer does, because they work on a different level that has nothing to do with value or value. It just doesn't even enter into this, a gift is a gift, and that there is no value attached. It is an energy and a gift for certain reasons. So yeah, that's it. I do say this: if you're new to Mark Bajerski and you're watching this now and you're like, you really, you don't have anything. You might not have a job. You've got children. You're really struggling, absolutely struggling in life. And there's no way you could afford a Moldavite. Just go over to info. This is what you need to write down: info@markbajerski.com, and send a message. And just, if you are genuine, I'll know if you're genuine or if you're a liar. I know we're a liar straight away. I can pick it up instantly. If you are genuine and you don't have anything, I will pick up on that and feel it. If not, I'll just ignore. And I'll send you a Moldavite from my heart to yours. So that's where I want to end the show today. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the little nuggets that I share with you. They're not thunderbolt and lightning strikes. They're just genuine little things that I share with you out of my experience. That's it, really. And that's what I do day to day. We've got over 3,500 videos on here, and there's enough videos for you to find anything that you're feeling down about, whether it's crystals, whether it's grief, whether it's heartbreak, whether it's, you want to get pregnant. It doesn't matter. If you just type in this search bar, Mark Bajerski, grief, Mark Bajerski, pregnancy, Mark Bajerski, OCD, whatever it may be, whatever your issue is, you know, you'll find a video. Normally, you'll find 1 or 2 or 3 videos that hopefully can help you a little bit along your journey. That's why I made this channel. I didn't make it for conspiracy, although it's kind of ended up that way because I think the person within me is somebody that does not like authority, doesn't believe in authority. I think this world has been raped. I think it's been hijacked, and it's difficult not to talk about it when it's in front of you. And I apologize, as I have done for many years, that I've affected a lot of people because my vibe isn't high enough as it used to be, laughing and joking. But, you know, when you see somebody falling in quicksand, or you see quicksand, and you know that somebody's about to walk into that quicksand and, you know, fall into it and have a bruise on their arm, and then start to lose their connection or their eyesight because they've injected something there. If I see that happening before it happens, it is only I could not even think of walking away without saying anything. I would be a lesser man, and I would not be connected to what you call God or our spirit world. We have a voice for a reason. We have a brain and we have a consciousness, and we must point out when we see danger and problems, and we have to try and resolve and solve, and we have to be strong, and we have to be courageous, and we have to be everything that we were born to be. Being silent when you know something is wrong is not an answer, and is not for me a way that you will look back on your last breath and see a beautiful, happy life. You will see those moments, and you will know that you have failed very badly. The truth that you hold without sharing is evil, in my opinion. Evil will stop you from speaking the truth. Entity will stop you from speaking the truth. You have to be stronger than that. You have to rise above evil energy, and you have to speak your truth. There is a saying, and it's said all over the world, the truth shall set you free, and it set me free. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for joining me. Take care of yourselves. Bye for now. Till tomorrow. It's been lovely. It's been a lovely chat. I've really enjoyed it, guys. And keep shining. Keep being the brave warriors. You're the last line of defense. And Moldavite certainly helps, for sure.